Good morning. This is the B2B Morning Zoo. Nate, Jay,
Morning.
where you're going to get the best of career advice, tech culture, LinkedIn culture, and whatever else we could record without messing up. We're just going to give you a couple segments here. Today's a good one. We got some news, some inside stuff from people I know. That's true. It comes from what I call the super internet, which is a resource Jay and I developed just for purposes of this show. It's just like the regular internet you use, except everything on it is true and it's interesting.
I can't wait till the president's on it.
Any day now. And then second, Jay has a wonderful quick walkthrough on how to manage a streamlined branding process. And then before we let you go, we're going to get some social media strategy and management advice from our friend Eric Elkins at Wide Focus in Denver. But first of all, this is some interesting scuttlebutt. Jay, you're familiar with the background of impending regulatory action against Facebook. You've no doubt heard of that, and even rumors leaking that they might have had an agreement to team up with Google to protect themselves against such action.
They got my data.
They got more than that, and as it turns out, and this is from a friend of mine who works in the Valley, they are much farther with AI than they have let on. And it appears that they're getting some signals that they might be willing to go scorched earth. That is, if you try to regulate us rather than break off or sell WhatsApp and sell Instagram, burn it to the ground. Come regulate the smoking crater. And the reason we know this might happen is that Zuckerberg model 00365 was spotted at a board and CFO meeting at the same time that Zuckerberg 003856/Golf Bravo Alpha was seen at Instagram going cube to cube and butchering people after having disguised itself as a filing cabinet throughout the night.
Wait, hang on, I need a minute here. You're telling me this thing can impersonate anything it touches?
Anything it samples by physical contact.
Get real, like it could disguise itself as a pack of cigarettes?
No, good question, but only an object of equal size.
Well, why doesn't it just become like a bomb or something and get me?
It can't form complex machines. Guns and explosives have chemicals, moving parts. It doesn't work that way, but it can form solid metal shapes.
What, like what?
Knives and stabbing weapons.
So I did something the other day in preparation for this that I never thought I would have to do before, and that was create a marketing campaign with limited resources and limited direction. And this is what happens when you have a budget of $7.25 and crowdsource your logo. Now, let me say this is first, I tried to go local. I really did. I wanted a local artist. So I reached out to a friend of my kids who designs logos for drag queens. He was busy and wanted $300. So I took what I had in the bank and this is what we got. Are you ready, Nathan?
Go ahead.
Here we go. B2B Morning Zoo with Nate and Jay. Yay.
I'm sure this isn't the first time you've heard this in a work context, but you won't be in charge of anything again.
Oh, I like it. I think it's cute. It's got the sunshine, and it's got a newspaper, and that's us. That's us.
That is the sort of central takeaway we want for our other marketing leaders out there is tell me how you crafted the brand DNA and guided our $7 friend to interpret it into this manifestation.
I said, I need a logo for a show, and it's going to be, think Microsoft clip art plus morning talk show.
And I'm still trying to figure out why what what is the object in the middle, and what brand value do you think it represents?
That's
Because I'm
cross.
looking at our list of brand personality descriptors. It says salubrious, ineffective, puerile, and then there's a German word.
Hassenpfeffer.
That if that's what that is in the middle, then I can go with it.
I think it's a newspaper, but I'm going with Hassenpfeffer.
I like the newspaper if it signifies our our obsolescence.
Well, this is what you get for $7.25 from Fiverr.
And
Ta-da!
and to all those CMOs and everybody out there, tell you have to drop 90K for to hire a linguist, and everybody in Britain, no,
Definitely not.
you get Jay will write 2 sentences, you'll get a logo, you can get on to something important.
I could have done it. I could have gotten it done cheaper. There was a guy that would have done it for $5. And it was done just before the holidays, and he was running some kind of special. But I thought, no, I'm going to splurge. $7.25.
When you say you can get a logo for $5, I think the best thing you're going to get is a guy in an underpass who is going to do the logo in his own feces on a concrete wall.
That might have been more entertaining. For
sure. So down and dirty branding. There you have it. We're going to be back in just a minute with, and we're not used to this, something of actual value. We're going to talk to Eric Elkins of Wide Focus Social Media, a Denver-based company that does social media strategy and execution for actual companies. So we're going to be back to talk to Eric in a sec in our segment called Two Good Questions. What's up, homie? How you doing?
How are you?
Borderline spectacular, man. Welcome to B2B Morning Zoo, and thank you, first of all, for being a mensch about it, being our first host. Just to recap, Eric is a longtime friend, aka Max Vitesse, aka the Dating Dad, also CEO and founder of Wide Focus Social Media, which you opened in
2007.
2007. Well done.
That's a lot of titles. Wow.
Good. Yeah. It's a game of, ever since Game of Thrones, that's what he does.
Oh, that's cool. Right. I just stack them all up at the end of my name.
Rad.
Yep. If there's a crusade, you can get more and more titles.
I'm holding out.
I think you have to kill children, though.
Oh. Well, children can be a pain in the ass. So
yeah, I'm sitting here thinking of the downside, and I'm blanking. But so this segment, my friend, is called Two Good Questions. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But basically, we don't want to hit you with 17. If we can come up with 2 good ones and leave a little air for follow-ups, we've done our job. And I'm going to lead off. So, and it's a real question. It's actually one I wonder about. So I've seen in general currents that in some platforms, at least, seem to be trying to push people onto more of their proprietary paid systems, and it's harder to score with organic. Is that a general thing that you hear of, or no?
It's been that way for years. It's play to pay, or pay to play, I should say. So organic is important because you're creating you're creating brand awareness. You're creating a sense of who your company is and what you do. You're generating value for your potential customers, but it's the paid side that actually gets the visibility, the website clicks, the new leads, that kind of thing.
And I would assume that for each account, I'm sure it's a custom mix, that you're going to formulate a mix of organic and paid tactics. Here's the thing I'm really curious about, being that LinkedIn is the only social media account I have not deleted. And that is, in terms of interesting tactics or strategies that have gotten you or your clients headway for a specific platform, what are you learning? What did you learn in 2020?
I think the biggest thing that we learned in 2020 really came from when things went sideways with COVID in March, which was that people weren't looking necessarily to buy, they were looking for resources, they were looking for help. They may have had their budgets slashed at least temporarily, so they were really just looking for resources. And so what we did was we pivoted with all of our clients. We didn't stop selling or stop with lead generation, but especially with our B2B clients on LinkedIn, we really focused on thought leadership. So we created a whole program around helping executives, sales professionals, their biz dev people generate more thought leadership on LinkedIn, build more visibility, build trust. The messaging went from, here's this cool product we have, to what can we do for you? How can we help? What kind of resources do you need right now? What are your biggest challenges? And that's like in consultative selling, that's how it should be anyway. But what we realized was before we used to do a mix with a lot of, biz dev work in the midst of, or I should say like straight marketing messages mixed in with some thought leadership and generating, perceptions of expertise. But what we did there was, instead of really pushing forward with the sales side of things, we pushed forward with helping companies become resources to their potential clients, their potential customers. And we still, to this day, really, even now that things have started to recover a little bit, we still lead with thought leadership on B2B. And that was the big change, is you can still sell, but if the first thing you do is generate trust and credibility for your company, for your team, for your biz dev people, your sales managers, your CEO, then it's a lot easier to sell because you've already generated trust and created some value in following you on LinkedIn.
Nice. In terms of the year in review, what is there an example that jumps out at you, from one that, just in your opinion, and I hope your client would agree, kind of went out of the park?
Yes, for sure. We have a client that it's very technical. It's a solution, and a SaaS solution basically, that allows website developers to preview websites to potential clients really easily, to move websites through different platforms or different, and I'm not explaining it very well because I'm not the one doing the writing about it, but it's really for developers in Drupal and Kubernetes and some of these other platforms, allowing them to work their websites through from testing to production to public, and have lots of really easy ways to do that. And when we first started with the client, they didn't have a product yet. It was coming. They had
that can be a roadblock.
Yeah, well, they had an open source version, but they weren't still ready to launch their paid side. And what we did with them was just start generating conversations around their expertise and around the problem that they were solving with their key audiences. So we were definitely having conversations with developers on Twitter. On LinkedIn, we were looking not just for developers, but really at leads and owners of agencies, website development agencies, who could see bringing this product in or this service in on an enterprise level, rather than just like a developer who liked it and was using it. So we were building demand from the developers on Twitter, which was allowing them to go to their leads and say, hey, there's this cool product called DDev Live, and we really need it because it's going to make our lives a lot easier. And then on LinkedIn, we were going from the top down, trying to get agency owners to understand that this was going to be a service that would work well for them. But the first thing we had to do before the product was available was generate trust, and show that not only was the company at the forefront of a really cool idea and knew what they were doing, but they had credibility with these developers who can be very particular in the products they use, in the way that they talk about what they do, in the conversations that they're having.
Awesome, appreciate that. That was my question and follow-ups. Jay, it's all yours.
I don't know what you're talking about. Who's your Overwatch main?
Oh boy, I don't know. It's been so long. I don't even remember the names of any of the characters anymore.
Oh, I like Zenyatta. He's cool. Did you know that the Police named a record after him? That band's gonna be big. That band's gonna be huge.
No, if they can get over the BLM stuff, I think they'll be great.
Oh man, yeah.
The drummer was Stuart Little.
He's the mouse.
Yeah,
Oh,
he had a massive drum set, but he was just tiny.
That's
Whoa.
what made him so good, bro.
Didn't he write that song that's in like Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
That's porn, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You can't say that here.
Yeah, out of bounds, man. One last thing, and that is, as our honored guest, you get the call to action. People want to get a hold of you and dive into this stuff. How should they get a hold of you? What's the best way?
Well, I'm Zendaya on Overwatch, so that would be one way to find me. But no, drop me a line. Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, Wide Focus is our website. My email address is eric@widefocus, so it's pretty easy.
And it's ERIC. You don't do anything really weird and unsavory like Eric Isle does, do you?
Not anymore.
Or Eric with a K. God.
Yeah.
Or a CK, you see that a lot.
What?
Yeah, you do a lot of. We actually have a client who spells his name with an A instead of an E. So
That's what?
each his own.
It's way too many letters.
At this point, I think you might as well just name all your kids, after the first 10 names you find in a Michael Moorcock novel. This has been B2B Morning Zoo. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Jay. And before we go, fellas, got a joke for you. What's better than getting an equity position at Amazon?
What is better than getting an equity position at Amazon?
Not working for Jeff Bezos.
Hey.
Boom.
So in the meantime, oh, fuck was that noise again you made?
What just happened?
I think the show ended, dog. I'll see you later. I'm out.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye.
gents.
Shut up.